Hi everyone, this is Deborah and today I've been playing with my stamps and I wanted to share my results with you and show you how I did them. I have seen a similar idea to this on somebody's YouTube channel a while ago, so I'll go through and see if I can find that and link to the video below. And I have taken out a lot of my Tim Holtz stamps and I started by stamping on this paper from a children's book. I thought the font was big and so therefore the image would probably stand out a bit more, and a couple of them I like. So my intention, and I'll go on to that in a minute, is to rip them out and see how I go. That's on the children's book and that is on a piece of dictionary, and I think because there's so much little bits in the background of this stamp, it worked better on the children's book than it did on the busy paper, which is from a dictionary. Here's another example. I did put a background stamp in this one, but it didn't come out very clearly, but I still might be able to use that. I love this one. This is the professor with an umbrella. That looks really cool. And then I've done a top hat with the clock and the bow tie. So I've switched between using an archival ink in black soot and a distress oxide in ground espresso. This is another one of that guy with the balloon. That one's pretty good too. And I'll just show you a couple more. I've separated some out so I could tear them individually on that one. And then I thought, if I'm stamping on that, why not get some of my tea-dyed paper out and stamp on it? So that's what I did. And I had a couple of sheets that I'd already torn in half, and I stamped some of the quotes on and some other word stamps. These are all Tim Holtz stamps, these ones, and they just look fantastic. I mean, even if you just use that by itself, you wouldn't even have to rip around them and use them, but I probably will, but that is really cool. So I did a couple of them with the same quotes on them, and I also stamped it onto a book page so you can see the difference. Looks so much better on the page that's been done with the tea dye. And then I thought, if I'm stamping on tea dyed paper, why not stamp a page, a whole page? So I found some of the full sheets I had and just quickly folded them in half and stamped the images down in the corners of those pages. Here's one here, and I've got one on that side too. Don't they look cool? I'm really super pleased with them. This one I actually put one of the quotes below it, and that's probably one of the best images I've ever had from this particular stamp, because it's got little tiny writing in the background, and so it is sometimes really hard to pick it up. So this is on a page, and then this one here is just something that I'll use. I've got a background stamp, some light globes, and that same stamp. And here I've just got a whole bunch of quotes and labels and things like that, and I stamped them a couple of times as I was going through, because I thought, why not? You can just use them, like this is a double up as well, but you can just use them in different ways depending on what you've done. And that didn't take that long. As you can see, I've got all my stamps lined up, or some of my stamps lined up on my board here. And now I thought what I can do with them is I can rip them out and I can use them to do some embellishments for my junk journals. I'm going to start with a tag, and I do have some ink here which is distress ink, and I will put some around the edges just to start with. Tag's a bit dirty because it's been sitting on the table, but that's fine, no problem at all there. And then I thought I'd just try and find something like this one here, for example, that's going to fit quite well on top of that tag, and tear it out and see how it goes. Now, I am tearing away that straight edge because I think it looks better with a torn edge than a straight edge in this instance. How cool is that? Okay. I probably will also take these to the machine and just sew on them as well, so that I can get the whole effect. So I'm just using some Yoo-hoo stick to put that on. And I could also put something underneath them, so I might see if I can find other bits and pieces to put underneath them. For example, I've been playing with muslin yesterday, and haven't put that away yet, but that's maybe a good thing because I can put some muslin on these. Might put that underneath, I think. I don't want it on top. And I also thought, I've got quite a few of these indexed cards, and I thought it's probably time to start using some of them. And the beauty of this is that the back would then have some journaling space on it. Let's rip some of these out and see what we can do with them. I know that doesn't look much yet, but wait till I'm finished and then you can pass judgment. I've ripped that, so I've actually ripped some of the stamped area as well, because that doesn't matter. I mean, the whole idea for it is to look nice. You don't want to be being too careful with the whole thing. And I have some lace that, again, I was playing around with yesterday, doing some dyeing, and I've ended up with some lace, so just thought I would pop this on here too. And think about what else I can put on there. This is an old vintage ticket, so I'm going to also put it on there. And have a think about that one. I love using old book pages because it's cheap and you can experiment with it, and if you wreck it, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because it's so cheap. Don't need to have it being super perfect. I'm holding this up to the light because I want all of the professor on the actual piece. I don't want to have him falling off the side. I don't care so much about the umbrella. I'm just starting by gluing down some buttons on some of these pieces to finish them off. I wanted to add a bit more to them, and I thought buttons might be the way to go. So you can see that I have sewn around the edges of all of these, and I have also cut away the card. So you can still use the card on the back. With this one, it's already on a tag. Might put some buttons on this one too, I think. I have plenty of buttons, so I thought I may as well use them. And I think 3 is a good number. I could hand sew these buttons on, but I just don't feel like doing that this morning, so I thought I'd just stick some of them on. I'm not sure that one needs one. I really like the way these little tag ones turned out. I think they're very cool. Even these ones are good. Maybe not as cool as the others, but still fine. Given how long it took to make them, I think they're pretty good embellishments. So there you go. I've got a whole heap of embellishments there now, and I'm quite happy with them all. And I think that that was a pretty quick and easy project. This is Deborah. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next time. Cheers.